Hi guys, so this is TheSirenSayz. Welcome back to my commentary channel where I talk about TV, movies, and soon to come books and everything that I like, dislike, and all of that jumbled up mess within that frame of media. I needed to talk about this, and let me explain why. I needed to talk about this because this is an ongoing conversation that I've wanted to have, but I also didn't want to have because I knew that a certain sector would be mad at me. Let's just say here, let's just go off topic. He's kind of wrong for this. This is not the conversation that you want to have. So let me explain. This villain versus real villain. This was a trend that works, in my opinion, best for sitcoms. Shows that are a joke. Like Monica from Friends is the real villain and not who is the villain? Ross. Like people will disagree, but you're not gonna get hate comments and people really thinking that you're a weirdo and an incel and a Rossist because of it. You know what I mean? Because Monica and Ross didn't kill nobody. So deciding to debate whether or not they were good or bad does not matter. So I feel like if you want to do this trend, try to keep it to just to people who don't have like abusers, apists, people who have really hurt people, murdered people, unalived people. Like you can't put a supervillain against a regular person who did something really stupid. And I'll put my personal opinion close to the end of this video. But I wanted to show you guys this stuff while I talked. So people are either agreeing or completely not agreeing. And I think what is interesting about this is that they really dropped the ball here. This person, Mr. Y Guy 2. This is not a conversation you want to have. I understand that you don't like Amber. You can talk about her by herself. I can do bad all by myself. You can do bad all by yourself. She can do bad all by herself, bro. Like, you lost the argument comparing her to Omni-Man. Even people who don't like her are now defending her because you did too much comparing her to Omni-Man. I feel like that is where the conversation needs to go. Even people who would have agreed with you initially that Amber was a problem now have to defend her because you're doing too much and you compared her to this nigga. How? Let me just say my opinion. Also, spoilers for Invincible, and I mean Invincible going forward. If it is that you really don't like spoilers, I'm gonna spoil something right now. So skip forward 20 seconds if you don't want a spoiler. In the comics, Omni-Man, I saw a YouTube video of what happens in the books, like the overall what happens in the books. So I knew that Omni-Man was going to beat the crap out of Mark and then leave. I was aware of that. However, what made me really dislike Omni-Man was the destruction he caused along the way and how badly he hurt Mark, who I had come to care for by the end of this. But because I saw the video, I am aware that he's going to get a redemption arc. People who have originally read the Invincible comics say that Omni-Man's redemption arc rivals Zuko's. They didn't say it was as good as Zuko's, but it's that type of arc, like somebody who's done some bad stuff is gonna get redeemed because bigger stuff is happening and they can switch sides and da. So that's a spoiler. Me knowing that didn't change how I felt by the end of this season though. I remember finishing the season and being like so upset, like a tear fell down my eye. I was feeling so bad for Mark, and I was just like, I know he's gonna get redeemed, but I don't want him to. And another spoiler, you can skip forward 10 seconds. He's supposed to get in two particular fights that I was really waiting for, because I'm just like in terms of them changing the source material, I want them to like kill him. Like, that's how I was feeling. I wanted them to like unalive him. That's how angry I was at him. I was like, no, there's no coming back from this. Like, he called his wife a pet. He beat his son half to death. And I know he didn't completely kill his son, and that's supposed to be the start of his redemption. You know, he has somewhat of a heart that humans could penetrate it. You know, just two humans in particular, his wife and his son. But to me, he had like murdered a bunch of people just to prove a point to Mark that like all this is insignificant in the grand scheme of things. And so for me, that just made him irredeemable. It's been a while since the show has been out, and I think that part of that is to calm you down, so that whenever they start trying to redeem Omni-Man, we're not looking around like, who? Because we got some time to calm down from it. But this is not the guy that you want to compare her to. It's just not. It's just not. I think that Amber is an issue. I do. I'm not one of those people that liked her. I couldn't. Because there was just no reason to. And no, I wasn't in an echo chamber of people who I was seeing react to it or review it who was on my side. Not at all. I saw some people who thought Amber had a right to act exactly how she acted by episode 7, and I didn't even understand that. And we have some people who think that she was completely wrong. And then we have people who took it too far on both ends. And yes, there is a way to take the Amber thing wrong on both ends. So let's discuss, right? How you take her thing wrong at both ends. On one end of the extreme, people talk about Amber like she's the scum of the earth, and like there hasn't been any superhero girlfriend that has acted irrationally like Lois Lane in most of her adaptations, but okay. And then there are the other side that feel like she did absolutely nothing wrong, and Mark is the one with the problem here. Now, this is not to say that Mark didn't make any mistakes, but they're defending her so hard that they're making Mark an actual villain in the story, which is just false and doesn't make any sense. Here's where I come from. This is just my opinion. You can disagree. I think she was wrong, and I feel like the writers did it on purpose. What are you talking about? What do you mean the writers did it on purpose? She's just being realistic. Let me show you what realistic looks like. Because to me personally, if I decided to stay while somebody wasn't doing what I need them to do, it because I really like them. And people were like, look how much it took for him to tell her. I don't care. If it took that much for him to finally be there and like, fine, I'll tell you, and this is the reason, and he can prove it, I'm letting all that stuff go. I'm not saying that you're a bad person if you don't let that stuff go. I'm not saying that at all. I understand some people just can't handle it. Some people just don't need to date a Mark type. You just don't need to. But let's not, it's almost like they're removing the fact that Mark is a superhero and just saying he's a neglectful boyfriend. He's a neglectful boyfriend in a sitcom is different from he just don't spend that much time with me at all. Because let's not lie, he wasn't spending that much time with her. He does spending that much time with me in a superhero context. You guys cannot conflate the two. You can't. I'm sorry. It's just not. Let me stop. It looks like I'm complaining, and I'm not trying to complain. There's a tweet here that I want to show you guys. It shows something very specific that I need to show you guys. So I'm gonna see if I can find it here in my bookmarks, because I bookmarked it because it's evidence. So like I said before, I had watched a video of somebody who was giving us some of the comic book lore, and this is what I want to say to you guys, because it's very important. It's very important because I feel like this is for all the Amber lovers around the world, all of you people who have decided, and this is me, I'm not trying to aid him, because like I said before, I just explained to you, Omni-Man is not, he's not even that redeemable to me. I feel like they would need to go into a bag of diamonds to like, they have to find something rare A rare writer. Oh, here it is. Thank God. They have to find a writer of a rare stock to redeem somebody who just killed 1,000 people. So it's like when they say that his arc was comparable to Zuko's, I'm kind of confused because I'm like, Zuko, well, if we're being honest, Zuko probably did kill some people, but it was a kid show, so they couldn't say. But like, Zuko didn't kill thousands of people. Then they're like, no, but his father and his family have killed thousands. And, they want to conflate the issue, but it is what it is. Here is a piece of the comic strip that showed this is the original Amber. This is what Amber originally looked like. She was white before. And I think it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting that this is what the white Amber's response was to him being a superhero. So in the comics, when Mark would dip out on her, she would think, this girl right here would think, he's either cheating on me or he's a drug dealer. Okay. So then he comes bruised up from a battle and he's like, I'm invincible, I'm a superhero. So she says, you really are a drug dealer? You're really gonna elaborate on that drug dealer thing? Because I'm confused. My boyfriend is a superhero? Yeah, looks that way. Great. So she immediately understood. She immediately understood. And I don't understand why you guys have a problem with that. Y'all be dating men who will ghost you and don't have a good reason to do it. This is a fake superhero world. This is not real life where people don't have a good reason to ghost you. This is a superhero world. In a world where there are powers and genetics and mutants and supervillains, some people might have a good reason to ghost you. I feel like the only reason you guys would have accepted for him ghosting her is him dying. Guys, come on! And this is why I am so mad at this guy who made this hit tweet, because now you are invalidating the wrong that Amber did by comparing her to a psycho killer, bro. And people are like, oh, he's not a psycho killer, he's just a fascist. Okay, fine, I get it. But you cannot compare Amber to Omni-Man. She did a lot wrong by herself. Omni-Man is a whole different beast, a whole different conversation. Omni-Man is the biggest villain. And I'm somebody who doesn't like Titan. Titan in the show, I don't like him at all. But Omni-Man is the bigger villain. To me, personally. I like what this person said. So they race swapped her just for her to be insufferable. And this is what I felt when I watched the show. Right? This is what I thought. And my sister, I'm not going to out my sister here. I'm not going to give her the name. She was so upset about this that she quote tweeted the writer of the show, the black guy who wrote Amber. She asked him, why would you, because I'm a person of the noir complexion as well, like we both are. He was like, why would you change Amber to a dark-skinned black woman and then make her react like that to Mark being a superhero? He literally set her up for the controversy. I don't care if somebody's saying they need to drum up hype around the show and this helps. Why are black women being used like that? Why? So she called him out. And he actually responded to her and said that he has a plan and he knows what he's doing. Literally just saying F you to her and that she don't get it. No, sir, we don't get it. So I don't agree with the tweet that the guy made, but look at this. This is how the white woman responded. But no, the black one has to go on and on about how she was upset that he lied and that was the main issue. But none of you who are defending her and thinking that she was right for dumping Mark have anything to say about the fact that she got back together with him of her own accord. What you gonna say? Well, of course she had to comfort him. Look what Omni-Man did. Oh, so him being a superhero matters when he's this close to death. But if he's alive in any capacity, he completely wrong. And let me be fair, I am not saying it would be easy to be a superhero's girlfriend. It is not. Which is why It is not that she broke up with him. It is the way that she did it. And to be honest, me personally, I'm side-eyeing Adam Eve. I'm sorry. This upset me so much that I don't even really want to see Mark in a relationship anymore. I'm just here to see him fight. There are other relationships that are going to be happening in the show that I'm not going to spoil for y'all. I'm waiting for those. I don't really care about Mark's relationship anymore because I don't know what this is. You're upset that he lied. You're upset that he ghosted you. You're upset that maybe he did not trust you with the responsibility of the secret. Maybe it made you feel less than. It made you feel like there's something wrong with you. I'm not sure why. Because, in a world with superhero comic books, and it's like, and it's not an old world, it's a modern world. Like, they had like smartphones and everything. So, and this is the same thing, right? It's like when you watch a horror movie, and the horror movie is in the present day, and you hear the actors talking about how dumb this person was in a horror movie that they recently watched. But then as the killer is coming for them in real life, all of a sudden they become just as dumb as the movie they were just referencing. This is my problem with Amber. But she never used to read comic books. There are lots of people who never used to read Marvel comic books, but they could call out the dumbness whenever they did finally see a Marvel movie. You're telling me that she lives in a world with superheroes, and she gon' still have this mindset? If you were mad that he lied, leave. Don't try to make him feel bad for trying to protect you. You want to know the good thing? Amber was never in danger from being around Mark. She was in danger from living in that place that she lived that was filled to the brim with supervillains. Invincible gave her an added layer of protection by not telling her at the time. I don't care what nobody says. And let me say, Mark was wrong for not being honest with her. He should have been honest with her. He should have. But her response was wrong. And that has to be okay. Instead, y'all are bringing in mental health and trauma and, oh, you think, and because she's black, now it's a black issue on that front. Oh, you would just take a man, abusing you like this? You would just take a man doing all this stuff to you like, what? Yes, there was some pivotal moments that he missed. He was supposed to meet her parents. He was supposed to study with her. He was supposed to go out with her. He was supposed to hang out with her. He was supposed to help her in the soup kitchen. Oh, I'm sorry that I couldn't help you in a soup kitchen because I was too busy trying to liberate a community from a mechanical mob boss. And let me explain why I'm so passionate about this. Because she figured it out. Which means after a certain point in time, she knew why he was missing. She knew why he missed the soup kitchen thing. She realized why he missed the dinner with her mother. She realized all of that. So once she realized that, she had a choice. And I know it's terrible. Women have the freedom of choice now. Whoa. She had a choice. Do I stay and pretend that I don't know, so that when he does tell me, I can tell him that I did know and I support him? Or can I not handle this because I want a certain type of relationship? I want someone who's always going to be there. Somebody who I don't have to worry about. Somebody who I know trusts me enough with this secret. Because it's weird that he didn't tell me. Doesn't he trust me? I mean, I'm literally a civil rights activist. I'm a community leader. If anybody has the right to the superhero, it's me. Why did he tell me? And I agree with that, right? I feel like she's prime to date a superhero, because she's a little superhero in her community. So why did Mark tell her? But her reaction, bro? No, bro. No. She should have just left him and kept it at that. When he tried to come back and be like, please go out with me, that time when she took him back, she should have told him, I know you're invincible, that's why I broke up with you. I felt like you should have trusted me and you didn't, and that really hurt me. Why don't you think I could handle being with a superhero? Why do you think like you have to lie? And even though we as the audience know why he lied, and it's still kind of dumb for her to say, why did you lie? Obviously we know why, but that would have been a bit more of an understandable argument. It is all about writing. Do not sit here and defend bad writing. Invincible is an incredible show and I can't wait for it to come back. But that was a sore point. That Amber was the weakest point of the story. Now let me spoil some more for you. Spoilers again. This Amber didn't even stay with him. They broke up, and then she got with some normal guy and lived a normal rest of her life, and he got with Adam Eve. Because it was just easier for him to be with a superhero like Adam Eve. Don't you think it would have been better for that to be the progression than for him and Amber to blow up because she doesn't understand the world that she lives in? Talk about being a fish out of water. So I don't want to hear people defending Amber in general. But this idiot of a guy who made this tweet comparing her to Omni-Man has now forced people to defend Amber because you made a false equivalency, sir. And this is why I'm upset. I'm not even upset at Amber. I've let go the Amber thing. Like, y'all go believe what y'all want to believe. She's not right in situation by herself. But compared to Omni-Man, there is no comparison. He is worse. He is worse. There is no the villain, the real villain. He is worse, bro. He is worse. At least she came when she saw he was hurt. Where was this nigga? Where was he? I'm sorry if I'm screaming, but just the fact that people are going to decide that they can now defend her because you, as an idiot, decided to put him in the ring, it makes me mad. Because people had a good reason to dislike Amber. They had a really good reason. And now you are invalidating that. You don't even like her, but you invalidated your entire argument by adding in the worst person in the whole show. That nigga watched Mark almost die by Battle Beast's hand and did nothing. Come on now. Anyways, for right now, that is it. I just had to rant about this because y'all are doing the absolute most. I said my piece. I spoke about why Omni-Man is the actual villain, but how Amber was wrong in her own way. I spoke about how Mark did wrong things and he should have made better choices, but he's not the villain. He's not. So leave Mark alone, take Amber out of this villain conversation, and put Omni-Man on that villain pedestal where he belongs, bro. Don't try and justify him until after his little arc. Then y'all can have the conversation of who's worse. Because we know there's worse than Omni-Man out there. So you can start to compare him then. Compare him when Throg comes here. Compare him when whatever the Conqueror gets here. Spoilers. That's who you compare him to. Compare him to other Viltrumites. Do not compare him to the social activist down the street who just has bad judgment. So sorry for screaming, guys. I'm gonna try to turn this down so you don't see me screaming in your ears. But I hope that, like, even the little comic book strip showing the White Amber shows you why I'm angry with the writers of this show. Why did they make Amber act like this? Why did they turn her black just to make her act like this? And you know what? I think it's very interesting that they made Amber a woman of noir complexion. Because they didn't do that with Adam Eve. They didn't make Adam Eve of noir complexion. And before y'all say they couldn't, shut up. All they had to do was make her a black person with red hair. Adam Eve's being white doesn't matter. I'm thinking about how tragic her backstory is. It would have made more sense if she was black anyways. No, but they made sure to make Amber black and then make Amber unreasonable. Yes, I said it. Unreasonable. If she couldn't stand the heat, she should have just completely left and not taken him back. Kind of, you're gonna say she did leave and not taken him back. I wanted them together. I thought they were cute together. But if this is her mindset, she should have just stayed away and just ignored Mark completely. Not taking him back. Not be swooned by his little cute puppy dogness and his little... Please, leave him alone then. I will say, just to round up this video, that there is a way they can redeem her for me personally. This is what they would have to do for me to personally get over the atrocities of season 1 when it comes to her character. Since she's already a social activist, right? Right. I want them to, like, make her a little vigilante. You know? Like Darkwing, you know? A hero without powers. And then, like, have her kind of team up with Invincible and like try to fight people, and then maybe she gets powers later from something. I would like that personally. I know some people don't care, but I feel like that would redeem her character if she was finally thrust into the limelight of being a hero, so she could probably understand Mark a little more. Cause I know Mark understands what he did. Like she really made him feel really bad for his little slip ups. So I know that like she needs to understand where Mark is coming from now. Not just from the oh he's hurt. Because people were saying that like she just likes broken hurt people, and I kind of agree with that. But whatever. So yeah, that's how they can redeem her for me. Make her an official hero, make her an official vigilante, and I will ignore what you did in season 1. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Wow, the likes are updating. Calm down. Anyways, thank you so much. If you want to see what some people said, you saw me scrolling up and down, you can pause. I would put a link into this, but I don't care. Go on Twitter and put in Amber or Invincible, hashtag Invincible, and you'll see it. Anyways, goodbye, my sires. Sue Sewell.